You know that feeling, right? That little push from inside, that desire for something more, that itch to change things up, to reach for something just beyond your grasp. Well, what if I told you there's an actual celestial force in charge of that exact feeling? Today, we're diving into the star that governs ambition, desire, and the very engine of change itself.
So, who are we talking about? The greedy wolf Star-Lord. And I love this description. The most playful CEO in the stars. It just perfectly captures his whole vibe. Forget about some dusty, distant deity. I want you to picture a dynamic, charming, and kind of unpredictable executive of the cosmos. He's the one pulling the levers that keep life interesting.
All right, so who is this celestial CEO really? To get a handle on his power, we've got to look at his official job description in the whole cosmic hierarchy. So, astronomically, this guy is a legit superstar. He's the head of the Big Dipper, one of the famous pointer stars that literally guides us right to Polaris, the North Star. Now, in Taoist mythology, that cosmic importance gets him a top executive role, reporting directly to the celestial emperor, Ziwei. And his portfolio, just managing the very beginning of life and every single major turning point that comes after. He's a guide not just in the night sky, but in our lives too. But a star this important doesn't just pop into existence, right? His identity has been built up over centuries, layer by fascinating layer. So let's peel back those layers and get into his incredible origin story.
The evolution of the greedy wolf is really like a three-act play. First, he was just a simple, practical guide in the sky for sailors and travelers. Then, Taoism came along and gave him a divine job and this really complex personality. And finally, folklore gave him this dramatic, all-too-human backstory as a fallen prince.
Okay, but what's up with the name Greedy Wolf? It sounds pretty harsh, doesn't it? But it's actually way more interesting than that. It's rooted in these ancient elemental properties. See, his essence is a mix of yang wood, which is all about raw, unstoppable life force and desire, and yin water, which is all about wisdom, social grace, and charm. So his name isn't really just about greed, it's about this powerful dynamic mix of ambition and charisma. Now, the most famous story we have for the Greedy Wolf comes from the epic Chinese novel Feng Shen Yanyi. And it starts with a real hero, Prince Yin Zhao. He's the son of a tyrant king, but he's a good guy. And he makes this incredibly solemn vow to help overthrow his own corrupt father.
But, you know how these stories go. On his path to do the right thing, the prince started to waver. The pull of power, the desire for the throne he felt was his by birthright, it just became too strong. He broke his oath, betraying the very cause he swore he'd fight for. His ambition totally got the better of him.
And for that betrayal, the consequences were absolutely dire. He paid the ultimate price for his greed. A really tragic end that was a direct result of breaking that sacred promise. It's a serious cautionary tale.
But his story doesn't end there. In death, he was actually reborn as a god, the greedy wolf Star-Lord. His new job in the cosmos was to embody both his incredible talent and the dangerous temptation that comes with unchecked ambition. He basically became a living reminder of that fine line that all of us walk.
And that whole origin story just perfectly sets up the main theme of the greedy wolf, his profound duality. This is a god of contradictions, a walking paradox of brilliant, creative forces and some seriously destructive ones.
You can see the two sides of his coin right here. On one hand, you've got the artist, a creative genius, a social magnet who just draws people in, a bold innovator who's not afraid to shake things up. But on the other hand, you've got the glutton, prone to overindulging, unreliable, and just recklessly ambitious. And here's the key. Both of these sides are always there, always part of the package.
The greedy wolf is also known as the #1 peach blossom star. Now, when you hear that, don't just think about romance. In today's world, it's basically a superpower. It's that magnetic field of public charisma, that networking skill, that social capital. Think of a charismatic CEO who can command a room, or a social media influencer with millions of loyal followers. That is peach blossom energy in action.
So we have this star that's just brimming with ambition and this chaotic energy. You'd think that mixing it with more chaos would be a total disaster. But in this cosmic system, something kind of magical happens. Let's take a look at the alchemy of power.
Okay, so here's our recipe. First, you take the greedy wolf. That's our raw, untamed ambition. Then you add the fire star, which represents some kind of sudden, unexpected challenge or crisis.
Now, on paper, this looks like a recipe for absolute catastrophe, right?
So what happens when these two super volatile forces actually combine?
Instead of disaster, you get breakthrough success. It's wild. This potent combination is said to just ignite a person's drive, leading to sudden wealth and this incredible ability to turn a crisis into a golden opportunity. It's the ultimate example of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, or in this case, a whole lot richer.
So, what can this ancient, really complex deity actually teach us about navigating our own lives today? Well, the wisdom of the greedy wolf is surprisingly, and I mean powerfully relevant.
First off, embrace change as an opportunity, just like the star turns chaos into fortune. Second, you've got to channel that ambition with wisdom. Desire is a powerful tool, but you can't let it become a destructive master. Third, recognize that your charisma, your personal peach blossom energy, is your true capital in this super connected world. And finally, and this is a big one, try to reframe greed not as a selfish want for stuff, but as a powerful curiosity, a hunger for knowledge, for experience, for growth, because that hunger is the real engine of progress.
In the end, this quote just says it all perfectly. The greedy wolf isn't some distant, perfect god. He is the star that mirrors our own complex nature, full of our messy desires, our captivating charm, and the endless, thrilling possibility that we can change.
Ultimately, the story of the greedy wolf is a reminder that we all have this force inside us, that ambition, that drive, that desire for more. It's the wind in your sails. The only real question is, where are you going to choose to direct it?